Oh, they're good and dry. Look at that. Good and sticky. I know over the years there's been some guys that say, oh, you can't use that, can't use plywood because chemicals will leak out of the wood onto your eggs. But, you know, I've been doing this forever, and sometimes I don't catch fish, so maybe those guys have something. Maybe they're onto something. Maybe I should start listening to some of my subscribers. I think I have everything I need. Oh man, that glare. How tall the grass is. Sorry, gooses. 3 geese right there. Boat's already in the river. I gotta try to catch a fish. Now I'm always saying, work first. But you know, I complained to my dad when he was still alive. I can't believe he's been gone like 8 or 9 years now. It's just crazy. I still miss him like he was here this morning. My mom too. Anyway, I always told him that he'd become a slave to this place. Because he always kept it really super nice. And I try to keep it as nice as he would expect me to keep it. But you know, I've become a slave to this place as well. It's just a lot of things that you do, and sometimes you wonder, you know, are you going to slow down? Or are you ever going to slow down? Do you want to slow down? You know, and eventually my dad did. He slowed down all right. And now he's gone. And here I am becoming a slave to this place myself. So I decided I am not going to do the lawn. The lawn is, look at that. It's like 10 inches high because it's been a while since I've mowed the grass. It's only been a week. But anyway, there's stuff all over the driveway up there. But today I decided to heck with it. I'm going fishing first. I'm going fishing. Fishing first. I'm doing it. Okay, I'm gonna run up to the slough up here, pull over a little bit, and then tell you exactly what I got going on. I'll fill you in. Should have plenty enough water to get out of here without a problem. So let me tell you what I got going on today. You've seen me, if you watched some of my previous videos from last year's coho season, you've seen that I was catching fall Chinook and then the coho, I mean, by the dozens. I had a really good year last year. And so I figure if those fall Chinook are up here this far, 120 miles from the salt, and they're hitting my eggs, why wouldn't the spring Chinook do the same thing? I've never caught a spring Chinook on eggs bobber dogging, but I bobber dog all the time for fall Chinook and coho. So I'm thinking, why wouldn't that work? I checked the last report, and what do we have? We have, now this was the week of May 4th. So this is always a week behind. And you can check this out, the fish count, by just typing in Cowlitz River Fish Report. It's sponsored by Tacoma Power. Anyway, it says last week Tacoma Power employees recovered 149 winter run steelhead, 610 spring Chinook adults, 47 spring Chinook jacks, 19 summer run steelhead, and 1 cutthroat trout in 5 days of operation at the Cowlitz Salmon Hatchery Separator. So that's not a lot of fish, you know, when you're talking about coho numbers in the fall, but that's still quite a bit of fish in 1 week. So there are fish that are making it up this far. So I figured there's not going to be anybody up here, I don't think. So anyway, that's what I got going on. I'm going to bobber dog. You've seen my rods. These are the same rods that I have set up for coho during the fall. Nothing fancy. 40-pound braid, high vis. Bobber dogging setup. I have a video there somewhere, you know, showing my bobber dogging setups. I'm not sure exactly what video it is, but you can find it. My eggs. Okay. And then I've got these Coon Shrimp. Let's take a few of these out right now. Okay, we're going to put a chunk of egg on here. Roll it up in a nice little ball. Put a chunk of egg on there just like that. Lay coon shrimp over the top of it. Cinch her down. So that's what we have. We've got a nice little chunk of bait, coon shrimp. Looks tasty, huh? So anyway, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna get these motors started, and we are going to head up here and just do some bobber dogging. See if we can hook coax one of those steelhead, maybe one of those spring Chinook, or something. Any fish will do. Let's see what we can do this morning. Make sure our drag is set appropriately. Okay. Let's see if there's a fish up here that wants to play, huh? There's gotta be, right? Gotta be, just gotta be. Oh, there's a bunch of geese over there. Well, I kind of knew there'd be no boats up here. There's fishermen. It's like 4 guys on the bank over there. There's usually always somebody on the bank because it's, you know, good access, good bank access here to fish. And for you guys that bobber dog or want to try bobber dogging, you'll notice what I do is, you know, the float's out there, and it's not like you're float fishing, or, you know, or drifting eggs or bait under a float. You're bouncing on the bottom, and the river is actually pushing the float. So the way to keep all your gear straight is you allow a bow in your line to lay on the water. There's like a 3, 4, 5 foot, even 6 foot if you want to, bow on the water that keeps the float straight and then keeps everything else in line. I've had people say, you know, you need to take the slack out of your line. Well, that's not how it works with bobber dogging. You want to keep that bow in your line right there to your float That way it keeps everything lined up. And that is your not a pro tip of the day. When the water is running at, you know, it's running at like 5,200, I think, 52, 54, somewhere around there. But when it's running like this, the drifts go pretty fast. But it's a good level, and the water's somewhat clear, but it's still kind of cloudy a little bit. But we should be able to find a fish, maybe, huh? Seems like the weight that I have on there is working perfectly. Okay, let's run back up. Okay, this time around, let's try a little further over. Okay, let's see if there's a fish over there that wants to play. Ooh. I'm a little close to my gear here. Oh, I was snagged on the bottom. I better check to make sure I have bait, and I don't. And that's why I keep 2 rods ready to go, so I can get them all tangled up. Try to hit that gap over there. There we go, yes. Kind of a funny thing about fishing, isn't it? You can fish all day long and not have a strike at all, then all of a sudden, just as you're ready to quit, boom, you catch a fish, or things turn on. Or you can go fishing and then the first thing in the morning, bam, you're doing really well, and then it turns off, and then nothing happens all day long. You just never know, do you? You never know until you go. Oh, come on, fish. So this is actually the time of the year where I'm usually out on the ocean, either on Mike's boat or on my boat. And there's been I've had several people actually ask me when I was going to be heading out on the salt. But there's been a number of things that have happened this year that have prevented that. And so for you guys that are waiting for saltwater videos, I apologize, but I don't know, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get to it for a while. But anyway, let's run back up before we get down here to the boulder garden, and then we'll bait up again and put some more bait on that other rod. Okay, I put new bait on. We've got new weight too. I add a little bit of weight to that one. Drifting a little too fast. So we'll swing out here and see what drift number 2 can give us. New bait, new weight, new attitude. Ooh, that almost feels like a fish. That almost felt like a fish. Man, this was a good drift. I felt like there was 2 times when I felt like I had a fish working. Sometimes they pick it up and run and jump and do all kinds of crazy stuff, but other times they'll just pick it up and just kind of swim around with it in their mouth. And if they're, because you have such a long top shot on there, they can actually pick it up and run towards the boat and be swimming around with the bait in their mouth. Okay, this is drift number 5. No fish. But you can't be a quitter. Don't be a quitter. How you doing?
Great. How you doing, bud?
Doing good.
Catching anything?
Not yet.
Yeah.
I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
You see that swirl right there? That's because there's a giant boulder down here, which causes what I call the vortex of doom. And when the water is running a little bit lower, especially when that tree was across the river right there, making it hard, the boat would get stuck in that vortex of doom and make it almost impossible to control the boat while you're trying to fish. It was so frustrating. But you know, I mean, that vortex of doom is not going anywhere. That's a giant boulder the size of a car. It's been there as long as I can remember. Well, and right in the seam, the perfect spot. Well, what I think is the perfect spot. Sometimes the fish don't agree with me. And you'll notice I'm always on the reel. You know, not only am I controlling the boat to keep it in this perfect space, well, what I think is a perfect space in the river and away from the presentation, but I'm always on the reel, bringing it in, casting it back out, letting line out, always trying to keep that loop in the line so the gear is always fishing the way it's supposed to be. Controlling the boat, you know, all that stuff. I'm definitely going to lose this bait. Oh no, I got to go up. I don't want to lose gear. There you go. Usually all you have to do is just get above your snag, and usually comes off 9 times out of 10.